So, the Bambino Kart Club established in 2012 thanks to the efforts of one Mr. Darren Beavers, who is our founder and also championship coordinator. So his efforts to help his young son Bradley get to where he is now as a series champion has been showing through here. And as you can see, we now have the IAME Bambinos lining up on the grid. So the clerk of the course will make sure that everything is ship shape and Bristol fashion. So I think really we need to run through our very first grid of the year. There's Connor Scarisbrick on the front row with Dad Paul. We've also got Jack Fowler in the middle of the screen there, the number 99. Both drivers very competitive in qualifying this morning. Second row on the right-hand side of the visual on the Downforce UK page, it's number 33, Jack Robinson. To his right is Max Horlaw, the number 36. Max also has been in the sharp end of the field. Darren Beavers is the man walking through the middle of the grid. So drivers will have had their engines switched off, ready to go racing. So let's run you through the grid. So start engines. Let's run you through the grid for Bambino Heat 1, which is AVB. Scarisbrick and Fowler on the front row. Then it's Jack Robinson, Max Horlaw, George Davison and Joe Lewis rounding out the top six. Danny Bonner, Rory Breen, Ethan Woodward, Fraser Anderson, Laith Khan, Thomas Clark, Ellis Pullen-Memon, and they're away, and we get racing for the very first time at the Bambino Kart. Oh, there's been a collision already going across the start-finish straight. One's pulled off to the right-hand side already. Fraser Anderson, I think, was involved. Yellow flags out on the start-finish straight as the field now, Constantine, is its way up the hill through turn 3. One driver was pulled to the side of the track instantly after that collision. I'm just trying to keep an eye out as the action is fast and furious underway in the Bambino Kart Club. Racing is fun, but these IAME Bambino competitors start from as young as 6, and we've got a spinner up at the top of the hill already, just past Marshall Post D, but that driver manages to regain composure and get back out on track. So drivers now coming into the second half of the circuit itself, and this is a very interesting technical section for the last 3 to 4 corners of this track, known as the boot. They come in, it's a left, then it's a right at the top of the crest of the hill, and then it's a sweeping double right-hander. Connor Scarisbrick is still in the lead. Jack Fowler is still with him. I'm keeping an eye on who that is behind, but we got a very good battle for 4th and 5th a little bit further down the road. So George Davison is in third, the number 45. So Jack Robinson and Joe Lewis complete the top 5 at the moment. George Davison set the fastest lap of the race last time around. So I got a feeling, was that Vinnie Oliver that was unfortunately involved in that 3-kart collision? As some got the whole shot, some didn't, but it's still this is a really great battle between Connor Scarisbrick and Jack Fowler, numbers 8 and 99. And with these two keep on battling as they are, the 4 behind are going to catch up quickly. That's George Davison, Jack Robinson, Joe Lewis and Fraser Anderson. So already with the racing getting underway. So Jack, it's a 3, that was 3 wide heading towards the boot. And Fraser Anderson, I think, has just got up into 4th place as a result. Behind him is Joe Lewis in the number 7, coming around the final corner. Who's behind them? I've got a feeling that is Jack Robinson in the 33, which it is. There's 2 behind them as well battling away, which is Danny Bonner and Ethan Woodward. So the leaders are coming up the hill again as this battle between Lewis and Anderson is going unabated, and Lewis goes up the inside at the top of the hill. Nice clean overtake, great use of the slipstream there. It just goes to show that these kids might be doing 30 to 50 miles an hour in these IAME-powered Bambino karts, but my goodness me, they are putting on a show. And Scarisbrick is coming under increased pressure from Fowler, who is thinking of going past up the inside into the mid part of the circuit. Scarisbrick at the moment is still defending notably. We're now into lap 3 of this first of 8 laps, but we still have a timer on it, which is running to just under 5 minutes at the moment. Now, I'm sure that some of the higher tiered motorsports could learn a thing or two from these plucky youngsters, as the battle between both Lewis and Anderson is still raging on. Scarisbrick has opened a slight gap to about 4/10 of a second from Jack Fowler in this opening salvo. But I have to say, credit where credit is due to George Davison running in third. The trio now come through turn 4, 5, down towards 6. A little bit further down the order, you've got Poppy Thomas with the number 44, same number as Lewis Hamilton, running in 12th. Not far behind her is Ellis Pullin-Memin. And it looks like we have got 3 drivers who will not make the end of this race. Thomas Clark looks to be one of the drivers involved, the number 90. Finley Hands as well. Vinnie Oliver also showing as 14th, but is right down the end of the field. But meanwhile, let's concentrate on the leaders for a second. We've got Connor Scarisbrick still now coming alongside back marker traffic. And that's Finley Hands trying to get out of the way of both. Well, now 24, that was Finley Hands. Unfortunately got in the way slightly there as well. But the top 3 have already got through. Joe Lewis has just gone purple on that last lap. He's now 3 seconds off the leaders. He's done a 1:03.83. So Scarisbrick has opened up the gap between himself and Jack Fowler to 7.5 tenths last time around. So 4 laps completed. Top 5 at the moment. It's Connor Scarisbrick in the 08. Ahead of Jack Fowler, the number 99. George Davison sitting nice and tightly there, keeping a bit of a gap, because if these two tangle, this could allow him to slingshot past Joe Lewis. Watch out for him, the number 7. I've seen this kid race, and I tell you what, he's definitely one to watch as well. Fraser Anderson, the number 50, who was battling with Lewis just a few moments ago, looks to have dropped off slightly to about 1.4 seconds behind. So Scarisbrick still leads. Gap has remained the same, but in the process, Jack Fowler last time around went purple in sector 1 and 2. Scarisbrick set the fastest lap of the race in the process, whilst trying to defend. And this is fantastic action all the way up and down the field. And there's a great battle coming through into shot now of Ethan Woodward and Danny Bonner. Now this is for 7th position, the numbers 83 and 66. And it looks like there is pretty much a 4-cart train. Danny Bonner's being followed by Max Hallor and Rory Breen from Scotland. So that's the round out of the top 10 at the moment, with Scarisbrick still leading. Oh, and this battle's really heating up now. So Max Hallor was thinking of going past Danny Bonner, but slots in nicely behind on the approach into the boot. The quartet come through in towards the final couple of corners. And let's just see what happens here. Going around the final turn, they need to make sure Ethan Woodward goes very wide onto the concrete. Max Hallor comes out of nowhere. Brilliant opportunistic move to get past Danny Bonner. That puts him up into 8th position. And this 4-way scrap will continue until the checkered flag. Max Hallor's going for another place. And he's taken Ethan Woodward. No, that was side by side. Danny Bonner's getting in the mix. And Rory Breen is just waiting to see what happens in front. Oh, we've got a cart off. That's 17. Vinnie Oliver up at the top of the hill. Beached just off turn 5, I believe. Yellow flags on the approach up the hill towards turn number 3. As this battle is still waging between Max Hallor and I think this battle has changed slightly. Ethan Woodward is still ahead, but by a whisker. Last lap board is out, so Connor Scarisbrick needs to keep an eye out as Max Hallor is still trying to get past Woodward for position. So let's just see where our leaders are at now. Okay, so last lap is out. Last lap board is out. We're just trying to pick up the leaders at the moment. So Connor Scarisbrick has really opened up the gap between himself and Jack Fowler. There was a great initial contretemps between the pair when we went racing for the first time in 2018. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The opening winner for 2018 in the Bambino IAME class is Connor Scarisbrick. Well done to the 08. Jack Fowler finishes in second place. Joe Lewis and George Davison were closing. Lewis took third in the latter stage of the race. So that was a brilliant. Now, there's also been a change between Jack Robinson and Fraser Anderson to finish 5th and 6th, respectively. Now, what about the remainder of the battlers for the top 10? Let's see what happens. Danny Bonner finished in 7th position. Rory Breen finished 8th. Now, what does this mean with regards to Max Hallor and Ethan Woodward? So they have dropped down the order. Ethan Woodward crosses the line in 11th place. Max Hallor actually finishes in the top 10. So, well, what a way to kick off the Bambino Kart Club Championship here for 2018 here at Whilton Mill. So, let's run through as our last few finishers are coming through across the line. Connor Scarisbrick, a fantastic win for the 08 to complete his first race win of the year, the first Bambino IAME Heat 1. Then Jack Fowler is finished in 2nd ahead of Joe Lewis, who charged through the field to finish in 3rd. George Davison was 4th, having stayed in 3rd. Quite a lonely race for the number 45. Then it was Jack Robinson, Fraser Anderson, Danny Bonner coming out on top of that quartet, battling between himself, Rory Breen, Ethan Woodward and Max Hallor. But Laith Khan, as a result of that, got into 9th at the stripe. Max Hallor finished in 10th place ahead of Ethan Woodward. Then Poppy Thomas, Ellis Pullimemin and Thomas Clark rounding out the 14 finishers for the first race of the day. But congratulations once again to Omskirk's Connor.